Hello everybody, this is a Magnovox Astrosonic amplifier and tuner, and I bought this from a guy a while back who told me that it wasn't working. Unfortunately the record player was missing from it and a few other things were pretty messed up, but when I plugged it in I actually found that he was correct. It was not working, but after playing around with it for a little while I went ahead and made some adjustments internally and found that I was able to get it to work as long as I bypassed the box here, which I think is related to the remote control, which I don't have for this unit, but it has a wire that actually comes out of the preamp here, goes into the box, and comes back out and goes into the amplifier. So I'm going to just show you guys how it's hooked up right now. Like I said, this wire actually goes into the back of this big brown box here, which seems to be a relay unit, and I'll turn it on for a minute. And if you notice, you can actually hear it clicking internally to change the inputs. So it seems to be functionally working in there. And then I'll just go ahead and show one other thing real quick that's acting a little strange. There's an auto seek function for finding a station, but as you can tell, the belt seems to be bound up a little bit, making some noise. It is moving, and probably with some cleaning and adjustment you can make it work okay again. Alright, so I'm going to stop the video for a minute and just wire straight into the amplifier and show you guys that the amp actually is working, and I think there's just sort of a connection issue inside of the middle of this box here. Okay, so what I've done now is I've actually disconnected the cable from the preamp, and on the back there's a output for a tape deck, and I just went ahead and took this cable, which I think is supposed to be for the record player but is not here, and just wired it straight in. So I have no volume control. So when I turn this thing on, it's going to get pretty loud. And I have a test speaker hooked up here that's just a little throwaway speaker that I use for testing things. And I have it wired into the amp over here on one channel. I'm going to turn this guy on and you'll see.
Cures for spring fever are at Specs, where you'll find thousands of ways to put the thing in savings. Specs keeps you chilled with lower prices on Texas' largest selection of fine wines and exotic spirits, refreshing beers, and a colossal collection.
I'll turn that off now. And actually, I don't have an FM antenna hooked up to this, but I'll go ahead and switch it over to FM to show that it's working as well.
Fresh selection.
Okay, so what I did now is I just went ahead and switched to the other channel on the amplifier to show that that's working as well.
Bring proof of a better deal. Operates as a licensed credit access business. Actual lender is an unaffiliated third party.
Now, one thing I did notice is it looks like either one of the connectors back here is not making good contact, or something's up with that, but I just went ahead and switched the inputs to where it's coming out of the same channel. And I suppose it could actually be one of the channels on the preamp here, but I think it's more likely that this connector is just corroded, not making good contact. So I'm going to hook up an MP3 player to it real quick just to show that the amp's working on its own, and I'll actually have volume control then as well. Okay, I've hooked up an MP3 player. The power for the amplifier is actually controlled through the preamp here, so I had to plug it in and leave it plugged in over here to the amp. But once I turned it on, I just took the cable that goes into the amplifier directly and plugged it straight into this little Zune MP3 player here. And I'll show you guys that it's working. I'll hit play. Turn it off real quick, and then I'm going to switch to the other channel. So as you can see, this guy's working, the amp's working okay. As I mentioned before, this box doesn't appear to be working, or at least it's not passing the sound through properly. And I remember working on one of these guys before, and there's a connector over here that I think used to go to the ultrasonic transceiver for the remote, which I don't have the remote or the receiver, but looks like pretty much everything else is there. I also have the faceplate, which went over the amp originally, or the preamp originally, that went inside there. And I don't seem to have all the knobs. I only have this one knob for it, but otherwise I think mostly here and complete. And like I said, the amp does appear to be working, and I know people like these early transistor amps, even though they're a little fuzzy for my tastes. I also have the speakers from this Astrosonic that I'll be listing in a separate auction, but for now I'm going to put this guy out there, and just wanted to show everyone that it was working okay. And I'm not including the speaker or the MP3 player, of course, just plugging those in to show you that it's working. And hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks. Bye.